everyone. So today I have a special guest.
Hey.
This is my bestie, Quentin. And as you guys will see from the title of this video, unless you've been sleeping under a rock for the past couple of weeks, there's been, like, you know, the case of Trayvon Martin on the news. Like, if you don't know about it, you've probably just not been either alive or under a rock. I don't know which one. So in February, right? This was when it happened, right? February, there was a young black man named Trayvon Martin who was shot by the neighborhood watch man in his neighborhood that his dad's fiance lived in, right? So he lived in the neighborhood. So he just wasn't a walking bystander. He just wasn't strolling for no reason. You know, he had a purpose, being that he lived there. Even if he didn't live there, he still had the right to walk anywhere he damn well pleased. So there was this neighborhood watch guy that got crime happy. I don't know what he thought he was doing, what he thought he was protecting. Apparently there had been like robberies in the neighborhood. And that, I guess that was his justification, first of all, for being in the neighborhood watch. But I don't know if he was really even assigned as a neighborhood watch.
No, he assigned himself
as
the neighborhood watch.
Self-assigned. Okay.
Yeah.
So he pretty much followed this young man and killed him. And like I said, unless you guys are living under a rock, his claim was that it was because of self-defense, which is a bunch of bull. It's crap.
Clearly.
In the state of Florida, and I think not just Florida, I believe they said a couple other states have the same law where if you feel like you are in imminent danger, you have the right to defend yourself, and that could be, you can kill the person. But the key point is that you have to be at risk of being intimately harmed, like someone is about to kill you. That's kind of like if someone comes into your house and tries to rob your house, you have the right to shoot at them, type of a thing, because they're coming into your house. But to me, I feel like that's a little bit different because that person is invading your home and they're not just walking the street.
And I just want to pick up on a couple of key things in this situation. It kind of hits me kind of hard because I will say that I just recently found out what this whole situation was about. I would always see the picture of him flash up on the news, but I never knew, or, you know, across TV, but I never knew what it was. I usually turn the TV, but first off, what's his name? George Zimmerman. He has nothing to do with the neighborhood watch organization at all. He just appointed himself as the neighborhood watchman of that community. They're trying to say that he's not racist because he's not white. It doesn't matter what color he is. Like, because he's not white, that does not make you not racist. Like, I don't understand. You can black people are racist within their own community. Like, exactly. And just because you're not Caucasian, does that mean, okay, that takes you off of being the racist category? It doesn't even make sense. Who even said that? And his father tried to call him and say that he has black friends and stuff like that. Isn't that always what they say? It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, this man actually stalked this boy. Let's take it back to what really happened now that they've released the 911 phone calls. Like, I don't know how many calls there are. I've heard about 2 or 3 of them. I think he made 3. Him himself made about 2 or 3 calls and got in touch with the dispatcher. Okay. And then you've heard the calls from the neighbors that heard the incident happening. And then the girlfriend released her statement through his attorney of what happened, because he was actually talking to her on the phone as he was walking back home from the store. Okay, so even at this, I feel like George Zimmerman set this boy up, because even in his talking to the dispatcher, the 911 dispatcher, he's telling the dispatcher like 3 times that he has something in his waist. And he's inferring that the boy has a gun. I mean, what other time do you infer to anybody of keep on going at their waist for something? Like, and especially him thinking that it's a black man in a suburban community walking the street. I don't really understand what a crackhead or how he was supposed to look like he was on drugs. I know, because he kept on saying he was disoriented. He looks like he's on drugs. He has his hood on. Sir, it's raining, number 1.
It's raining. If you don't have an umbrella and you don't have a jacket on, but you have something with the hood and you're on your phone, we all know if it's raining, you're covering your head. And especially if he's on his phone, he's not going to want to get his phone messed up or in the water. Even if he wasn't on the phone, you're going to put on a hood, something to protect yourself.
Exactly.
He didn't have an umbrella. He didn't have a North Face that's water protected. No, he had a jacket. He had a hoodie on.
A hoodie.
Hoodie, that means it has a hood.
And then on top of this man is sitting up here telling this 911 dispatcher like, oh, he's coming towards me. He's coming towards me. Can you get the police out here? I don't know what he's going to do. But then he also tells the dispatcher, oh, he ran away. Then you hear him get out his car
and chase him.
Start chasing him.
And the funny thing is that the girlfriend, when she released her statement, she was saying when she was on the phone with him, Trayvon kept on saying that there's this guy that's following me in the car. And she's telling him like, okay, maybe you just need to run. He's like, no, I'm just going to walk faster. And she's like, no, you really need to run. And at one point, he thought that he lost the guy. He lost Zimmerman. To find out that he was still being followed.
And you can even hear Zimmerman saying that on the 911 call. He was just like, yeah, I'm following. The dispatcher asked, are you following? Yeah, I'm following. They said, please, sir, don't do that. He said, okay. He also called the boy a effing coon.
Tell me that's not racist.
You can hear it clear as day, a effing coon. So either way you put it, he still went after this boy. At any point in time, you cornered this boy. And it's not like we don't get to hear it either. Like, we hear it. Like, when the neighbor called 911, you can hear this boy in the background screaming for his life.
But yet he was putting you at risk of your life.
Exactly.
But he's the only one you heard yelling for help. But yet you were at risk and you had to do self-defense. To me, that doesn't make sense. Self-defense, last time I checked, self-defense was when someone is attacking you and you defend yourself to keep from getting hurt. But if it's only one person and it ends up being the person that's found dead, that's yelling for their life in the background, there's no way that you can justify that you needed to be defending yourself to keep from getting hurt. I don't understand. And the last time I checked, first of all, they told him to stay in his car, correct? He was told by the dispatchers, do not get out your car, wait till the police get there. Didn't he tell them to call him on his cell phone when they got there?
No, the male dispatcher told him to meet them at the mailbox. He was like, okay. He was like, but never mind. Just have them call me when they get here.
Sir, why? I don't need to call you to let you know that we are there when we're telling you to stay put or meet us at a mutual location. And if you were in such imminent danger, if this kid had a gun or looked like he was on drugs, I don't know what that is.
If he's coming towards you,
why you get out your car?
Why would you get out your car and go
Wouldn't your car be the
trouble?
most protective, safe place that you would be at? That doesn't make sense to me. There would have been no need for you to say you were doing self-defense when you left the safety of your car, quote unquote, because you were in such danger, to go and confront the person. Last time I checked, where did they do that at? I guess in Florida, where you feel like you're in danger and forget being safe. We're just going to go confront the person. That's just what we're going to do today. We're just not even going to wait to figure out what's going to happen. And did he have a gun? No.
He had a bag of Skittles.
He had a bag of Skittles and a sweet tea in his hand. Unless Trayvon was about to make Zimmerman taste his rainbow with his Skittles. I don't know. Unless that's what he planned on doing with those Skittles. I don't know what harm it did besides maybe a sugar rush. I don't know. What was that going to do to him?
I just think those situations is crazy.
And then this morning, CNN interviewed a guy that was, a neighbor, but he was a former, George Zimmerman's neighbor, but he was also a former neighborhood watch person. And he came to defend Zimmerman, talking about, oh, he's a good guy. And, you know, people just don't understand that the neighborhood has been attacked and robbed many times by black males. So now, because this kid is black in the neighborhood, he doesn't belong there. Because he's black in the neighborhood, that means he's about to rob you. Isn't racial profiling illegal? Are they supposed to still be doing? To me, that sounds like racial profiling. So if I turn around and say, well, all the white people are attacking me, does that mean every white person I come across or every Spanish or black person I come across, they're going to attack me? No, you cannot just always judge a book by its cover. So because this kid had on a hoodie in the rain and is walking fast or running fast because you're following him and he doesn't know why.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger, exactly. That's you know what I mean.
Anybody, you know,
you don't know who this person is, but he's constantly following you. Every time you turn around, he's right there, like he's right behind you.
What are
you supposed to do? Are you gonna just keep strolling that? No, you're gonna run because you don't know what's going on. You don't know why this person's following you. If anything, Trayvon was the one that felt like he was intimidated, and he was the one that felt like he was in danger because here's this person following him. He don't know where he is or who he is. Doesn't know him from Adam. And you you think he's supposed to stop and say, "Hi, Mr. Zimmerman. How may I help you?" That doesn't make sense.
He doesn't know this man from Adam.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Why? That's why he was running. He's not running because he wanted to come attack you. Last time I would think that if he was coming to attack him, he would have been coming towards Zimmerman, not away from Zimmerman.
And either way, even if I'm sure if you are fighting for your life, you're going to get into a scuffle with somebody. They keep saying, "Oh, well, they got into a scuffle," so that's the reason why it was self-defense.
I'm sorry.
Like, when you get into a scuffle with somebody, I've seen hundreds of fights. I've never in one fight seen anyone scream, "Help me, help me, help," because they were getting in a fight. Not unless somebody had the upper advantage. So what would that be?
And
Zimmerman had to have a gun pointing at him.
Yeah.
And he was about to shoot him, so he is screaming for his life. There's no kind of self-defense in that. It was an execution.
I just feel like, honestly, like, there's too much of this happening. Like, between more black males being locked up regularly for white-collar crimes that other people will do, and they will get more time, or getting killed senselessly. It baffles me that a state even has this law implemented. Like, it baffles me. It's one thing if someone comes into your house and robs your house, because that's a little different. But for you to just say you have the right to stand your ground, if that means you have to kill a person because you feel like you're at risk, like, don't sit there and tell me. And apparently there have been previous murders and people have gotten off because they've used this law to their defense. Who wouldn't use it? If it's there, it's easy to say it was self-defense. You can come up with the most cockamamie story and they'll be like, you know what? Yeah, you were trying to defend your life.
One thing I will say about this story is that I feel like a lot of black people always say, well, stuff like this happens all the time and, you know, nothing ever happens about it, or, you know, nothing is ever done. Well, this is the one time that something's getting done, the word is getting out. So
and people need to participate.
Everybody needs to participate. You need to this is about your rights too. As a black person, about rights, period. You know, even not only for black people, but for everybody. Like, this is about your rights. This is about justice. Like, you really need to go on and sign that list on
change.org. Sign the petition.
Like, sign the petition. Like, there's reason why.
There's protests happening in New York. There's protests that I believe that are taking place in DC. If you have the time, I know a lot of the protests are being set up, you know, kind of last minute, but it doesn't matter. If one person shows up, that's more than nobody showing up. You know, and I mean, I will say that I'm proud of a lot of the people our age, like in our generation, that are having the word out on Facebook. They're putting the name out there, the address of the sheriff at the police department where this took place. They're putting his name, his phone number, his address. People are mailing him bags of Skittles so they can see that they are not playing around, like something needs to be done. Like, how do you go to sleep at night knowing that, first of all, you took a person's life? Like, these parents are going to sleep every night knowing that, first of all, their child's last little bit of time on earth was captured on a 911 call and his words were screaming for his life. Like, how as a parent are you able to deal with that and knowing that that person that caused that harm to your child is walking around free? Like, there's just no way. Like, there's just no way that anybody can just sit around and find justification as to why this is happening, why nothing is being done. I'm happy that the Department of Justice and the FBI have started to get involved in the investigation because something has to get done. And best believe,
but I'm still not.
I mean, unless they choose something,
because it's just like there's nothing that you need to investigate.
There isn't.
The evidence is clearly all there, right in front of you. Everybody even hears it. Everyone in the world has heard this information. Like, there's no way around it. There's nothing that you need to further go see or, you know, ask questions about, at least this man should be behind bars for right now.
Honestly, I feel like him being behind bars might be the safest place for him, because I don't see him having the guts to walk out of his house and just walking around on an everyday like he used to prior to this incident taking place.
Yeah.
Either in his, and I think they said that he might be in protective custody. I don't know who in Florida that's a taxpayer that is okay with their tax money paying for his protection right now. And if that's what the case is, if he does have protective custody with him right now, I wouldn't, as an individual that pays taxes, whether I live in Florida or not, there's no way I would sit around and allow my tax money, my hard-earned money, to be paying for his protective custody. For what? What are you protecting him from? Because if you don't agree with what's happening, even if you have a slight question mark of whether to believe it or not, just remember, if he is in protective custody, that's where your money's going right now. Because believe me, the state is not coming out of their pocket to put those officers to give him protected. It's your money that's paying for that.
This is just a case of injustice, and it's just a case of right or wrong. Whether he's black or white,
it doesn't even matter the race. That's the thing about it. Here you have, you have what, Michael Vick, who knew of people that were dogfighting, immediately was arrested, went to court, 23 months, no questions asked. But yet you have a person's life that was senselessly taken for no justifiable reason, and the person that did it is walking around like, just another day. Just another day in my life. Like, do we really not value human life anymore? Like, I'm not understanding. Is that not something we take we don't value it anymore? To me, it's crazy that it's just not important. Like, it doesn't even matter if this kid was black, white, Hispanic. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that all he was doing was walking in his neighborhood from the store, and because someone wanted to get gun happy and patrol happy, they thought, you know what, I'm just going to do this for fun. Like, that's what it seemed like.
Even if it wasn't his neighborhood, like, he was walking through a neighborhood. He could have been, if he was visiting his dad's fiance and he might not have been from that area, he could have been lost. Like, if you in the area where all the buildings look the same and you walk down the street, you might not remember where you're at. So you're looking around at other houses trying to figure out what house is your house.
But that does not give you the reason to think that they're about to plot.
But either way you put it, like, he's walking down the street. Hell, I done got lost in my own neighborhoods before. Hell, there's streets I haven't been down ever in my neighborhood, and I've gotten lost. But I haven't had to worry about somebody
coming out and trying to shoot me
because I'm walking down the street. Like, so, that makes no sense.
I just feel like this is, like, somebody posted on my Facebook today that this situation is pretty much like the Emmett Till of our generation, which I 100% agree with. Because if we don't continue to do something and put the word out there and throw it in these people's faces, that we're just not going to sit around and let this keep happening to whether it's young black kids, white kids, Hispanic kids, it doesn't matter. It's a person's life that was taken. And I guess now in Florida, the governor is saying that they have to relook into the law. What do you mean you have to relook into it? You just need to abolish it. That doesn't make sense. There's no reason for you to think about it or try to switch the wording around or try to add restrictions. No, how about you just get rid of the law, period? Yeah. How many lives were lost before this kid's life was lost that was based on the same law that people used to their advantage? He's like, well,
it just didn't get caught.
It didn't get caught, right?
This guy.
It says one bad apple spoils the bunch, and here he is, right here. So now it's being brought to everyone's face and being brought to light that this is what's been happening in this state. And I can't think of the other states that have it.
But everywhere.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just really sad. And I just feel like we have to stand, like they say, if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. And we just have to. We have to, when something like this happens, you have to do something. And you don't have to just do something by, you know, see it and kind of say, oh man, I can't do anything. Yeah, you can do something. Sign the change.org petition. I don't know, talk about it on your Facebook status. Send Skittles to the man in their office.
Hell,
call the office and add, get a shirt made. Get something, wear your hoodie all day. You know? And do it. It's just that little bit of action.
Make people aware.
They're gonna be, people are gonna notice it. Just that one action.
People's faces, like, you have to, like, there's something.
And let them know it is not going away until something is done.
And it's only going to go away if we let it go away.
So we don't need to. We really don't need to, because at the end of the day, it could have been your son, it could have been your father, your boyfriend, your brother, anyone.
Your mom, your dad, whoever.
I mean, I could only imagine, like, you know, I was talking to, you know, Rhonda at the shop. She's like, I can only imagine, like, me being the mother of a 13-year-old son, how I would feel if that was me. It could be anybody. It could have been any of us that would have gotten that phone call and said, I'm sorry to let you know that this person was killed senselessly because they were walking while black.
And I'm sure a lot of y'all wouldn't just sit around and want
and just like, oh, okay.
You will want justice.
So just because it wasn't something that happened to you directly, it's going to affect you directly. That's the thing about it. A lot of the stuff that happens in our society now, we kind of look the other way because we think, oh, it's not directly happening to me. But you know what? At the end of the day, whatever the end result is, it's going to affect you directly. And then you're going to be like, dang, I wish I would have done something. I wish I would have said something. Anything. At least that way you can say that, you know what? You tried. But all I know is that karma is a bitch, and what goes around comes around. You just can't go around taking people's lives because you want a racial profile and assume this person's going to do you harm. Especially when you're the one with the gun. I'm not understanding.
It's clear as day.
So we're going to put the links down for the change.org petition.
Yes, go sign it.
Go sign it. It takes 0.5 seconds. It literally takes 0.5 seconds to sign your name.
And it doesn't matter if they get 1 million signatures. You can give more.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Can be more. Just put your signatures up there. Like, you can do something.
And if you've been living under a rock, we will also put the links to the story.
Yes, the 911 calls.
The girlfriend's report to the attorney for what happened when she was on the phone with him. So, I mean, she was so traumatized, she didn't even go to the wake. Did you know that?
I couldn't imagine.
She didn't even go to his wake when they had it. She ended up in the hospital after she got the news that he was killed. Because the last thing she heard on the phone with him was the phone falls. And that was it. She didn't hear anything else. And then she tried calling, but the phone never went through. The call never went through. That was her last moment with her boyfriend. Can you imagine going to sleep every night, replaying that in your mind? Like, when we lose our family members unexpectedly or expectedly, we play those last moments in our minds. So can you imagine
what we think?
Yeah.
You know what?
But can you imagine if you actually experienced it? And we're hearing it, how that's going to traumatize the person for the rest of their life? Like, so like I said, if you've been living under a rock or just oblivious, I don't know, or you just don't care to watch the news.
You should, because I was one of those people. Like,
you should, because something I mean, people are angry.
And that's why I don't watch the news, because I feel like everything is always so negative.
No,
but
people are angry. And when I say, like, people, I mean, like, news correspondents. I know there's this new correspondent on MSNBC. She was hot. She was angry. I mean, she almost lost her temper just talking about it and how disgusted she was. So yeah, people are angry. There's a representative in Florida that brought it up the other day in the House of Representatives or whatever meeting that they had. And she brought it up and talked about how something needs to be done. She was on the news this morning. So don't think it's just us people that don't really have that much power as far as like in the government aspect. There are other people, just not us, but we still have enough. We have a lot of power. Because at the end of this, our tax monies that pay for all this stuff that's happening now, these officers that are not doing their damn job, your tax money is what's paying for them. So if you feel like they can't even protect a little 17-year-old boy or bring his murderer to justice, what do you think they're going to do for you? I'm just saying, think about it. But yeah, we'll put the links to everything in the description box so you could be educated and have your eyes open, because if you haven't been watching the news, you can probably flip to the news channel right now and you'll see it. Go on your Facebook, look at your news feed, you'll see it. And if your friends on your newsfeed are not talking about it,
make them talk about it.
You need to make them talk about it. You need to start that trend to be talking about it.
That needs to be the Facebook status every day, or Twitter status, like pictures,
tweet about it,
everything.
Instagram it, like, Facebook it, Google Plus it. I don't know.
I just found out about it, and I do it every day, all day.
Yeah. Even if it's once a day, and all of those social networks, someone will retweet you, someone will share your Facebook status. Someone will share your Google Plus status. There's so many, social networks out there. You can do it.
Change.org, right?
Change.org. If you have a YouTube channel, make a video about it.
Right.
If you got that, even if you have one viewer or one subscriber, that's one more person that's made aware of it. That's how you have to look at it. Because then that one person is going to tell the next person, is going to tell the next person. It's going to be like a domino effect.
We can literally make history with this. Like, this can be something that changes history. So.
Yeah, because this country really needs to have their eyes open. Like, it's so sad that racism still exists in 2012. I'm just so disgusted. Like, there's so many other issues in our world right now. And race doesn't even include, it doesn't even involve those issues. But yet, we're right back to square one. Like, as if we didn't have the civil rights movement, or people didn't lose their lives for us to get our rights. Think about that. So I hope you guys enjoy our video, and you can feel free to share this video. Feel free to make a video response and attach it. Whatever you do, just make sure you keep this topic going. And thank you, Boo, for joining me in my video. See you guys next time. Bye.